Welcome to the Sun Dome for a bright new beginning for USF men's basketball. Today is the day we will always look back on as the day Coach Gregory began to make his positive mark on our program. Now as we begin, it's my honor to introduce the president of the University of South Florida System, Judy Genshaft.
Yay, go Bulls. Love that, love that. Welcome everybody. Thank you so much for being here on this really very exciting day of the University of South Florida and our men's basketball program. As you may have heard, our university is on the path and the designation as a preeminent university in the state of Florida, and one of the ways we will achieve this distinction is by bringing talented people to USF who are committed to excellence. We found just the person in Brian Gregory, who is one of those people, and we're very excited to introduce him today as the new leader of our men's basketball program. Coach Gregory brings championship experience to USF and a proven ability to identify, recruit, and develop student athletes who excel on the court and in the classroom. He instills discipline, commitment, competitiveness, and confidence in his players who in turn grow into outstanding athletes, students, and community members. Coach Gregory has performed well in the highest levels of college basketball. He understands the commitment and the work it takes to create a winning team. We have more and such a growing basketball program at USF, great facilities such as our Sun Dome and the Muma Basketball Center, a passionate fan base, the thriving Tampa Bay community, and a strong and supportive university. We're thrilled to have Coach Gregory join us and his family and lead us to making a fabulous men's basketball program. Now, to introduce Coach Gregory to our students and fans, I'd like to invite our fantastic athletic director, Mark Harlan, to the podium.
Love those walk-up songs. Thank you, band. Appreciate all the students that are here. Appreciate our student athletes. Appreciate everybody being here. Thank you, Judy. Appreciate that. Our university and our athletic department continues to produce new levels of excellence, and it's a privilege to work with your leadership as we pursue even greater goals. Thank you so much for your partnership. Appreciate it. My thanks also to the Board of Trustees, John Ramil, who's here today, our chairman, Brian Lamb, our university leadership, and the many people on my staff and supporters in our community that played such a large role in making today possible. We are very fortunate to have passionate people invested in the success of this program. Let me also take a moment to thank interim head coach Murray Bartow for his leadership in our program over the last few months. Under challenging circumstances, he brought professionalism and passion each and every day, and I'm very grateful for his tireless efforts. As President Genshaft just mentioned, today is a very exciting day for this university. When I set out to find a new leader for our basketball program, I had very specific characteristics at the top of my list. An experienced head coach, high integrity, championship background, a program builder, and a coach who develops and graduates players. Brian Gregory checks all these boxes and so much more. He has won nearly 250 games in 13 seasons as a head coach. He has led teams to 6 20-win seasons and 6 postseason appearances. He has won an NIT championship as a head coach and was a part of 2 Final Fours, 3 Elite Eights, and an NCAA championship as an assistant. He has recruited and developed 24 players that went on to play in the NBA, and every senior to play for him, as I look at our provost back there, went on to graduate. Simply put, he is committed to developing our student athletes on and off the court. His teams consistently play with energy and focus and discipline, reflecting many of the attitudes and attributes that have made Coach Gregory so successful in his career, first as an academic All-American point guard, which answers the question, point guard everybody, and now collegiate coach in his 27th year in this business. Throughout this process, I had the opportunity to get to know Brian and his vision for building and leading a men's basketball program. The experience and knowledge he has gained in achieving at the highest of level will work perfect here. He has worked with Hall of Fame coaches, and he has built his program at 2 universities, and that will be incredible assets as we move forward. Simply put, we are absolutely thrilled to welcome to the Bulls family Coach Gregory, his wife Yvette, and daughters Bella and Elise. Welcome, guys. Thank you for being here. They flew in from Atlanta just for today. This is truly an exciting day for this program, for this athletic department, and for this university. Bulls Nation, please join me in welcoming our head men's basketball coach, Brian Gregory.
There's not much more for me to say after those two, and I know everybody is questioning, yes, it was a point guard, not a power forward back in the day. But I want to thank everybody for coming out today, some members of the athletic department, the coaches and so forth, the students, obviously, some of our current players are here as well. I'm honored and blessed to be named the head basketball coach at the University of South Florida. I want to thank President Ginshaft and obviously our athletic director, Mark Holland, and I had some time to talk to former Bull and chairman of the board, Brian Lamb, as well. I want to thank them for their confidence in me, but also their commitment to not only building but also sustaining a program of excellence, and that's exactly what we're going to do. I want to introduce my wonderful, wonderful family, my fantastic wife, Yvette, and my 2 daughters, Bella and Elise. Their strength, their faith as a coach's family is definitely one of the things that has been a foundation for my strength in moving forward in this particular profession. I'm excited. I'm excited today. I'm excited about leading this program. I'm excited about the challenge that lies ahead and the challenges that we'll face all together. I'm excited about coaching our current players and the future Bulls that will come here in terms of building a program that not only the university but the entire Bay Area will be proud to call their own, and that's exactly the mission that we're starting today. I know there's a lot of work to do. I know there's a lot of obstacles out there, but I firmly believe that the University of South Florida has so many of the characteristics that you need to have in order to build a successful program. We have unbelievable leadership, and with that leadership, a vision, and with that vision, a commitment to make that vision come true. That was so important in terms of setting the foundation and setting the tone and tempo for what a basketball program is going to become. We have unbelievable academics, and I promise I'm going to sell those on the recruiting trail and sell those to our current players. Where this university has gotten in terms of the prestige of its degree over the last 20 years is simply amazing. When I go into future players' homes and I sit down with their parents and I sit down with them, I tell them that there are good degrees and there's great degrees and there's degrees that will change your life. The University of South Florida offers you a degree that's going to change your life. The experience of playing here coupled with putting that diploma in your back pocket, you're in a whole different area than you would be if you went anywhere else. That needs to be sold, that needs to be cherished, and that is something that I'm really excited about being able to go out there and sell. We have unbelievable and proven donor support. One of the things over the last 4 or 5 days that I've been able to do is get on the phone and meet and talk to some of our great donors and supporters. They've already proven their commitment to this program. They've already proven their commitment to how they want it done, with the integrity they want it done with, and at the same time understanding what we need to do to compete at the level we all want to compete at. They've proven that, and that's something that in terms of building a championship program, you definitely need. So that's fantastic to have. State-of-the-art facilities. We are in the Sun Dome right now. I promise you this is going to be one of the toughest places to play in the country before it's all said and done. The redo of it, the renovation of it has made it one of the best arenas in the country. Within our university, everything that you need to reach your full potential and to go beyond that as a student and an athlete is made available to you. We have the Sun Dome. We have the Muma practice facility. When you walk through those doors, everything you need to be a great player is at your disposal. From the practice facility, the practice gym, to the weight room, to the strength and conditioning area that we have set up, to the training facility, to the video room, the technology that we have, it is simply state of the art. All the players need to do is to bring an unbelievable work ethic, an unbelievable ability to sacrifice and to put themselves out there, but everything else is there when it comes to facility-wise, what you need to be a great player. It's something that puts us in a different area when it comes to recruiting, when it comes to player development. The Selman Center with the academic facility there as well gives us a great advantage for putting our players in position, and it's very important to me, Mark talked about the academic piece, that our guys have the tools and resources needed to be successful. We're a member of one of the best conferences in the country, in the AAC. One of the things is competitors want to play against the best. They get to do that in this conference, in a night in and night out competition. And finally, and I know a subject that everybody always likes to talk about, we have an incredible recruiting base to recruit from. Our footprint of our university has been undervalued and underutilized in the recruiting process. That must and will change. It has to. There's too many good players, too many recruits coming out of this area that for us not to have a presence, for us not to impact the state of Florida recruiting, we have to do a much better job of that, and we're going to do it. You have to work hard. You have to grind it out. You have to build unbelievable relationships. You got to be the first one in the gym and the last one to leave. You got to build a staff that understands what recruiting is all about and how to go about doing it. We're going to do that. We are going to do that. One of the things that I've learned through 27 years of coaching, every program I've been a part of has always had the inside-out recruiting philosophy. From my time as an assistant at Michigan State to a head coach at the University of Dayton and Georgia Tech, we've always said, let's control our area first. We want to identify recruits that are high character, high talent, fit our system, fit our style of play, fit the vision and the mission of the university, and we want to do that locally first and then move out from there. Michigan State was built on the shoulders of Flint and Detroit. At the University of Dayton, we did an unbelievable job of recruiting the state of Ohio. We did that at Georgia Tech as well, and we're going to do the same thing here. We have a tremendous product to sell. We don't have to take a backseat to anybody when it comes to recruiting. When you look at the academic piece, the basketball piece, the support piece, all those things are in place. We just need to do a much better job of doing that. I know this process is going to be difficult. It is a process, but we're going to get after it. I promise you we're going to get after it. As I told our players, and I think it's important that I kind of get out there today, what to expect from me as a head coach. Our players and our future players are going to get a head coach that believes in them, going to get a head coach that is going to demand and is demanding as a coach, but at the same time is going to spend the time to build a relationship, to build a trusting relationship, to build a relationship where there's open lines of communication, so those players know that the trust and the relationship that is built is all about us working together and helping guys get to where they want to get to. That's important, that they know that my most important thing is that they reach and go beyond their potential as a player. We're going to get after it. We're going to work hard with the guys. They'll know that we're committed to them and their future. Excuse me. I'm going to demand a first-class effort in everything that they do, as men, as students, and as players. My responsibility as the head coach is to make sure that they're surrounded in a first-class environment. We have that in place. We need to continue to improve that. One of our first missions and one of our number one priorities is that we need to change and build a different culture here. That's important. And the culture clearly and always is represented by the head coach. I take that task very seriously. But we're going to build that culture where our core values, thank you. Our core values and our team qualities and all those things are going to be emphasized every single day. It's important. You cannot take a day off in terms of building your culture. I've had some good meetings with our players and as a group as well, and I just think that they're going to buy into that. And when they do, that's when great things happen. I'd like to conclude and just kind of reach out to our students, our unbelievable supporters in the Bay Area, our alumni, that's so important to us. If we all take ownership and we work together, we can get this thing done. And I'm excited about getting it done with all of you. So I appreciate that. I'll open it up for any questions at this particular time.
Coach, congratulations. Justin Granite, 10 News CBS.
Thanks, Justin.
What did you learn this past year as a consultant, not being that head coach? And I know it's a long relationship,
Yeah.
but can you describe your relationship with Izzo?
Yeah, first, I had the opportunity to do some different things, and then another university asked about consulting, and then Coach said, well, why don't you do that here? And I had been home for 6 months, and my lovely wife, when I went over that with her after being home for 6 months, she said, I think that's a great idea, and it was an unbelievable opportunity to be able to sit back and one, see a program that I love. I say every great thing I've gotten in this profession is because of Michigan State and what they did for me and the opportunity they gave me, and to go back 13 years later and spend time with one of my best friends and to be with them during a challenging season where you lose your starting 4 and 5 man the first week of the season, and then your second leading scorer midway through the conference year. To be part of that and to be there for them, and to also see the changes that have been made, but to take a step back and really look at how I want to do things and my vision for the next opportunity was just great. In other professions, sometimes guys get those opportunities to take a step back a little bit. In coaching, very rarely do you do that. And the ability over the summer to go to all the NBA camps and be part of some of those action, it was a tremendous year. I felt after my time at Georgia Tech, I was a better man, a better husband, father, and a much better coach. And I used this past year to improve in all those areas as well.
Next question, we can go right over here, please.
Congratulations, Coach. John Sable, WFTS, TV
Thanks,
here
John.
in Tampa. The big problem, it seems like, a lot of the times that coaches face when they come to USF in the last 10 or so years is keeping local kids that are in the Bay Area to come to USF. They have offers to go to some of the other bigger schools in the country and even right here in Florida. How do you, as a head coach, with your experience at Dayton, at Georgia Tech, and even your consulting work recently with Michigan State, is to keep the homegrown talent here in Tampa?
Well, again, I think that one of the first ways is to develop those relationships with the important people when it comes to the recruiting process. We need to make sure that we're a viable option in those recruiting scenarios. I think it's important. You're not going to get everyone. I've been very blessed to recruit some great players in the time that I've recruited. I've also lost a lot. That's part of the deal. The best answer in recruiting is yes, and the next one is no. That means you can move on and get somebody else. The key is that next guy that you're recruiting has to be able to make an impact as well. And so that's where really being organized and on top of the recruiting is important. We have a lot of great things here. I do believe that we have a great product to sell. You have to believe in it. You have to be able to sell it. As I said, you also have to know some of the shortcomings you have, and you have to address those, and maybe that particular recruit can change some of that. So I think, again, the one thing I said, and that this is important to me, it's important to the community, it's important to the president and the athletic director, because this is what we need to do. We're not taking a back seat to anybody when it comes to that. In our team meeting, that would be a fine right there. Couple extra sprints. You know, and that's important. You know, you can't take an offer from Coach Gregory in the University of South Florida and have a great situation and put it in your back pocket and see if something else better, supposedly better, comes around. You know, and I understand that, because you're successful as a program when you got guys with both feet in that want to be here, that want to work, that understand what being a Bull is all about.
Next question.
Welcome to Tampa, Coach.
Thank you.
Russ Wood with RunningTheBulls.com. Could you talk a little bit about your plans for your staff? What are you going to be looking for? Someone with Florida ties, player development?
Yeah, I think when it comes to staff, number one is integrity, okay, and loyalty. Those two, to me, kind of go together. They have to be passionate about the job. They have to be high energy guys. These jobs are difficult. The challenge we're going to face, if you're not positive and high energy, you're not going to be able to get it done. There is nothing wrong with being obsessed with recruiting. It's the hardest part of the job. It just is. It's the most time consuming, and as you guys get to know me, sometimes it's the most demeaning. But you have to understand that that's part of the job, and being obsessed with bringing in great players, bringing in high character kids is what we do. And the last piece is you have to be able to coach, but maybe more importantly, you got to be able to teach. And if you can teach, you know, when we bring kids in, we want to recruit them, we want to retain them, we want to develop them. And so our coaching staff, and we will have guys on our coaching staff that have not only connections to the state of Florida, but great respect among coaches in the state of Florida. And at the same time, if they don't, they're going to be able to bring something else into recruiting, but they have to be able to teach and coach. We would be doing our players, especially our current players, a disservice if the guys I bring in within the next week or so don't hit the ground running in terms of development and spending time with our players to help them get better. They deserve that. After everything they've been through, they deserve that from us.
We can go to the second row there, please.
Coach, Tito Benach from Bulls247.com. When you were going through the process, I know you mentioned a lot of the factors that make this school great, but what are the things that jumped out to you first that really made this job so appetizing?
You always want to be part of a place that has a commitment. And in my first conversation with Mark, and then in my subsequent conversations with Judy and a couple of other people within the athletic department, I felt it right away. I just, you know, I'm a relationship guy. That's important. I told my wife, you know, we got to look at, get up in the morning and what does your gut tell you? And every day that it went on, I became more and more excited about this opportunity. I became more and more excited about, again, I've told our guys this. The past is the past. We can't do anything about that. You got to learn from it. You got to look at it. We need to attack today to build our future and to forge forward. And I looked at this as an opportunity to do that. I looked at it as an opportunity where there are going to be some challenges, but to be honest with you, what in life is worth anything if you don't face some challenges and obstacles? That's what it's all about. One of the things I'm most proud of as a coach that I think I instill in our players is resiliency, ability to bounce back and to keep fighting, grit, you know, to work hard and long for something that you really want. It's all part of our culture. I knew we could build that here. in my conversations with people. The facility, all that stuff was great, but it was really about the people who I met with and talked to.
Second row there, this will be our final question.
Coach, Vinny Portel with the Oracle. From what you've seen, what do you think that this program's been missing that you can provide to turn things around?
Recruiting side? Oh, recruiting aside. You know, I mentioned a lot of the positives. You know, one of the things that I talk with Mark about, and you know, one of the greatest questions you can hear is, okay, what do we need to do to get better? What do we need to do to get better? And I spent a lot of time with the players talking about that, because to be honest with you, you're going to get an honest answer from them when it comes to, you know, how can we improve as a program. And I think over the next couple weeks, as I get a little better lay of the land and I walk around the facilities and talk to more guys and more people around it, I'll have a little better feel for that. But again, the challenge that we face is every single day, those guys are going to be pushed and demanded to give us the first class effort, first as men. Because if I can get them to be the men that we all want them to be, the basketball is going to take care of itself. Always does, always will. You look at the greatest programs in the country, that's what they do. The guys take care of themselves as young men. That doesn't mean they're perfect. They take care of themselves in the classroom, and then the basketball. Those are core characteristics of success, and they transfer over to basketball, and that's what we need to do. My job is to make sure then everything around them is driving them to that, and they get the tools and resources needed to do that. And I think we can do that here. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm excited about being here. That's what I think this program and this university and this athletic department stand for. You take a look at the success of some of the other programs and what they've done, who they've hired, you know, like Coach Strong. I mean, that's what this thing is all about here. That's what this university is all about. And I'm just happy and very, very honored again to be a part of it. Go Bulls, baby. Go Bulls.